Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys are well. I'm doing well. I've got a Northern Lights painting here that I put together for you. It was a commission and a lot of fun to paint. Only my second Northern Lights. I have not done very many of them, so I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe, hit the links below, hit the subscription, notification bell, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. It really helps my channel to grow, and then I'm able to produce more of these paintings for you. So paint along with me or just watch, have fun, and we'll see you on the other side. Hey everybody, and welcome back for another cool, fun, hopefully, tutorial. I'm going to start out by showing you how I apply my Gambling Clear Gel, just like Bob Ross's Liquid Clear. What I like to do is take a little bit of the clear gel on a corner, that's all, and then we're just going to kind of dab it all around. And that way we don't have any big gobs in one spot, so to say. We're just going to tap this in. Work our way down. And just kind of spread that out like that. Okay. Then, once we have that on, we just take the same brush. I like to come up here in the corner and start spreading it out, connecting all the spots. So just work your way down. I like to use circles. It really, much better than this. This is okay, but circles really gets it down into the grooves. There we go. Come back here. Same thing. Scrub it in. Around, scrub. This is an older brush, so I do find sometimes you get little bits and pieces that'll fall off that you'll have to clean up. So again, just work it around. If you look at an angle this way and you have light coming, you can see exactly if you've missed any spots. So I recommend that. Okay, just work our way down. It's a workout on your hand, that's for sure. Yeah, I go through, pick a couple of these hairs out. Ooh, broke off a lot. Wipe that on a paper towel. As I always say, keep your paper towels handy. Okay, and then we're going to go all the way across. This is going to be a Northern Lights painting, so I want a good amount of clear gel on here. Not overdone, but enough so those lights will slide nice and easy. Just work that in, up and down, back and forth. All right, there we go. That's how you put your liquid clear on, or your clear gel. All right, now like I said, this is going to be a Northern Lights painting. This is actually a commission, for a buyer. So I'm not quite sure, as usually is the case with me, exactly what colors we're going to use. I kind of do it as I go, so I put my paints out as I go unless I know exactly what I'm doing. I got a good idea here, but for our underpaint, we're going to use some phthalo green and some sap green. So that's going to be in our sky area. So we're going to come through here, and I'm just going to use, I wiped my 2-inch brush from the clear gel. So we're just going to come in here and pull out, and you can use your knife to pull this down. I got junior palette today, since not a lot of colors. But pull out some of that green, okay? And then we're going to randomly put this on there. So we want the phthalo green. Our lights, I think, are going to come up like this. So we're just going to come in here and maybe in this corner, we'll do some here. Down. Make sure you got enough color. That's part of the problem sometimes is you don't have enough underpaint. When you put your white on, it's just going to look white. So make sure you have a good amount of underpaint. Okay, then we're going to come over here to our phthalo green and just use the same brush. We're just going to pull some of that out. Okay, so we kind of go next to that. Work our way down. I love my Bob Ross easel, but boy, it does wobble back and forth. I got to fix that. So do like that. Then back into the sap. Okay, and come kind of next to that. And let them overlap and come together. That's all fine. Just kind of rub it in there. Good. Back to the phthalo. So we're just kind of doing ribbons of color across here. Work that in. Oops. Good. And then back to some sap. Green for the corner, I guess. This will probably be dark anyways. We'll see. This way we have color all the way across. I'm not going to worry about some color. We're going to have some snow down here, I do believe, at the base. So we can add a little color with our titanium white when we do the snow for exactly what we want it to maybe reflect that Aurora. So anyway, so once we have that done, I'm just going to go back over this just kind of gently. I think we're pretty good there. So there we are. So now we have an underpaint on. And the next step will be to apply the white for our Aurora. Okay, so now we're going to come through, pull out some titanium white, and we're going to load both sides. Okay. Maybe, let's see, I think our mountain will be over here, so maybe these lights will come out here. Do this, that, and maybe another one is here, and maybe a third here, and off, just like that. I'm going to add a little more color to my brush here. And here. One more paint on there. And off. Good. Okay, now we're going to take a clean, dry 2-inch. Let me grab. There we go. Let's grab this one. Okay, clean, dry 2-inch brush. And now we're going to come through and we're going to lift these up. So I'm going to start on this side. We're just going to come, and you want to make sure after every swipe you brush your brush off to get this color off. So gently grab, and we're going to lift up. Okay, so come in here, grab that, pull it up, straight up. I'm going to come back and add a little more white. A little more action on this. right in here. Maybe right up here. There we go. Do the same thing here. A little more white here, not too much. Again here. In spots. Good. Get that brush and come back. Let's do this again. More. Here, turn the brush a little bit. Right off. And we'll come to this one. Same thing. Straight up. This side. And off the canvas. Okay. And then we're going to come all the way from top to bottom, all the way across. Like that brush. Very good. And the rest of this kind of blend away. And this is all going to be covered, so I'm not too worried about this. Or you can even take, if you want it real clean, some people like to move their lights around, some a little higher, some a little lower, but you can come in here and just wipe this away if you want this bottom edge clean. Get rid of that. And we're going to have a mountain plugging over that stuff, so. There we go. Good. I think I'm going to come back one more time. A little more pressure. Should bring this up a little more. This one's good. Like that. Good. And now I'm going to grab one of my 1-inch brushes here, and I'm going to add just a touch of color on a couple of these just to bring this out a wee bit more. And some spots. Don't cover all that dark. But it's your world. And you can do as you see fit. If you want a little more color, certainly add a little more color. Anytime I paint and I give you advice or tips on things, I'm telling you things that work for me, but of course, you do what works best for you. Because everybody's different, and everybody does things in different ways. All right, so one last time from top to bottom. Good. I think we're good with that. We'll leave that as is. All right, so now we will lay in our mountain. For that, I've added some mountain mix here. And again, we have a black canvas, so I just really want to define some edges here. I'm not too worried about below that because it's black anyways. But we'll pull this out. Again, just pull your mix out flat and get a little roll of paint, medium roll of paint, whatever you want. And then we're going to come in here, decide exactly where we want to put this. So I'm going to put my angles, I think, a little more this way on this mountain. We definitely want it to cut off here, so maybe we'll start it here. And it comes down like that. Or maybe a touch higher. Maybe here. And she'll come down like that. Cut right in front. Just pull that excess paint off. Give it a little bump there. Maybe another little bump down here. Kind of cover up the edge of that light. Scrape off the excess. Maybe over here. Let's see. Maybe this comes up like that. And kind of out like this. Right here. We don't want this mountain coming too low. I can do that. I can make a mountain grow real quick. So we don't want that. We want it sitting way up here. So scrape that excess paint. And then maybe this one, this peak, cuts right in front of that one. Okay, and maybe these two kind of float together. We'll work it all out once we start highlighting it. Okay, and then this one also has to be cut off here, so we'll just kind of drop this peak right there. And then this will go off this way. So again, we're scraping the excess paint off. Dig your knife in there and get all that extra paint off. Very important to remove all that excess paint. It'll make our highlight process a lot easier. Okay, so we get that extra paint off on your knife. Again, let's just get it all out of here. All right, good. Now we'll come back, and I'm probably just going to use the brush we did the base colors on the sky with. Let me wipe it off real good. And if anything, it'll give it a little bit of a green tint that'll kind of match with everything that's going on in the sky. So we're just going to pull that out. Again, we want to keep this mountain fairly low. I don't want to drop these edges down in this particular painting. Grab that and just pull it. Wipe your brush. Get that excess paint off your brush. Okay, pull it. This will pull this way. Take it right off the canvas. Smooth as far as you can. Okay, and that should be good enough. Not too worried about the rest of that. Very good. Kind of hard to see when I step back in the camera. Yeah, the lighter spots you're seeing there, it does not look like that when you step away. It's just reflection from the light above that's given these brighter spots. So don't think that yours should look like it does on camera here, because it shouldn't. Let me block this light a little bit. But it's actually all black or dark. All right, very good. Moving right along. Now we're going to put some highlights on this mountain. I have my titanium white here. It's got a little bit of the green in it, but that's okay because we want a little green tint to it. We might even add a little bit. So we'll just pull that out flat. And then maybe for some of these peaks directly under, we'll add a touch of that green, maybe a little. I mean, the phthalo green, really, not much. It'll eat up everything real quick. So be careful. So just a tint of that phthalo green, maybe a tint more. We'll see. Just plop it in there. See that? It just really will overwhelm your white quickly. So pull that out flat. Okay. I like to use my large knife. I just feel it's more balanced. Get a small roll. I don't want to. This is one where I don't really want a thick roll of paint. So we're going to cut across. There we go. Oh, real quick, one thing before I jump on that. I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to remove. Let me get a shop towel. I'm going to wipe off some of this dark paint here. Let's see. Because I got my clear gel. Just give it a wipe. Get some of that wet paint off. Careful with it. Don't go to your sky. But there's a lot of paint up on there, and if we can get rid of this paint, it will make the highlighting so much easier on you. Have it a little more dry. Your paint breaks a lot better that way. So we're just going to wipe that off. That's all. And use a shop towel if you can. A paper towel's okay, but you'll get the little pieces of lint everywhere. So we'll wipe that off. Good. Now, go back with our knife. Let's see what we're going to do here. Little roll of paint. I got to get down so I can see. So maybe we'll start. Let's start on this peak right here. So we want to touch just above the dark. Okay? And we're going to bring this way. I like to hold my knife with 2 fingers, sometimes 3, just in here. This finger is more of a guide. And then try your best to skim the paint to the canvas. Don't push it in. That way you'll smear it. If you just skim the knife on the canvas with a slight touch, miss a couple times, get closer, get closer, get closer, and then when you hit it, you'll feel it. But just real gentle stroke is the biggest thing I can tell you. I'm going to go behind here and grab this one here, and we're going to pull this out. Work this one down, just like this. So I like to use short strokes sometimes. For beginners, they're very helpful. Instead of having to do the long swooping strokes that Bob does normally, these allow you to get a little more break, I feel, in your paint. And it creates a more jaggedy rock look. All right, so maybe we'll start. So as you can see, I started this here. I have a little triangle of dark here, so I don't want to start and cover that up because your dark spots are going to be your crevices. So they're kind of important. We want to save those. So maybe, pick an area like maybe here. Just do that, and then pull gently. More paint. And then this boy will come down like that. Okay, just leave some of these areas. Knife off again. Leave some of that dark. Very good. Let's go to the next little peak. Which is going to be here. And this one, I want to wrap this one down and into this one. So this one's going to come up into this. Keep moving forward. Looks like we have maybe this one. Yeah, we'll start. Maybe this guy's a little straight up and down a little more. And then follows with the other guys. Okay. Let's keep working around the horn here. Let's come up to this peak. Again, I got to see what I did here. And this one starts here. Let's turn it. Good. This one's going to come around like this. So bring her down. Okay, good. And again, these are just the highlights. We're going to go back and do the shadows. Now to start on some of the shadows, we're going to go into, steal some of this white from here and come over to this brush. I have some phthalo blue that I added to my palette here. Okay, so a little more white. Mix that white in there. And we want to leave it marbled. Don't overmix it. All right. Okay, we'll just cut across, get a little roll of that. Sure, get some of that white on there. I'm going to come over here first. So we're going to touch and follow the outline of this. Paint. Yeah, we don't want a lot here. And I'm really just following this outside edge of this mountain. Okay, that's good. I'll come here, fill this in a wee bit. You don't have to cover every spot. Leave your darks in there. Those darks are deep crevices. So. Okay. Trying to avoid your straight lines, maybe break them up a little bit. Always try and do that if possible. Maybe here. Spot maybe here. But again, don't cover everything. There's some spots here and there. That's good. I like that. Okay, now let's go to this guy over here, or this gal, however you want to look at it. So we're going to start here and work this down into this one. And just a little bit down here. All right, that's good. Okay, now I want to have this come around and bend a little bit. That's going to lead to our snowy valley. if all works right. First, I want to come over here. We're going to, just with a very, very little bit of paint, we're going to extend this over a little bit here. I'm going to come here, and we'll go back to that blue, and we're going to kind of work this together. Like so. Okay. I'm seeing, it's like Bob says, when you start doing this, you start to see things. And as you see things, sometimes you just got to go with them. So we're going to take this here, and this is going to kind of start bending down and out. And it's here. Okay. That. Bring that down. And now we got kind of this bowl happening, which is kind of neat. Okay, and we'll go back to that shadow color. Bring that off the edge. A little thick there. We can fix that. A paper towel. Anytime something's a little heavy, it's very easy to get rid of. You can either wipe it. Oops. Rub it away. We can add some more dark in there. Put your dark back in. Bit. Okay, and she's fixed. And then we'll go back to our little bit of highlight color, and we can come back here and just kind of skim it. I'm sorry, the shadow. Just skim it like that. Okay. Cut this off. There, that's a little better. Build this ridge up a little bit. More paint. Good. Maybe that ridge is getting a little more light. Okay. And here, I'm going to take some of that blue, and I think starting maybe here. Let's see this one. Bring this one here. think you got a little too much, just take some dark. Oops. You can put it in there. We can play with that. Good. Back with our blue. Blue and white, I should say. Okay, good. Now we'll come back here with our white, very gingerly. Bringing these areas together. My glove's hitting. Okay. Let me see here. I think I'm going to come back here in a few spots. Drizzle some blue. I like it. All right. Okay. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take just the slightest amount, just a little bit of this phthalo green. And I'm just going to gently, not much, a few spots. Just a couple. Yeah, just to have a little bit of that green reflecting in there. Not too much. Just want it real subtle. Maybe on this side just a little bit. Oops. I almost dropped my knife. Yeah, just a couple subtle spots of green. Good. Good with that. I'll come over here. Bring that off. Okay, good. Very good. And let me see. I'm going to come back. I want to cover some of this a little more. There we go. Maybe just bring this out here a little bit. That's a little better. I like to step back. You got to step back and look at it. And even sometimes just leaving the room for 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes, walk back in, and then immediately what you don't like will pop right out at you. So I highly recommend that. Definitely take a little time and walk out and then come back. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a little bit of straight white. It's got some of this green and blue over here. It's got a little mix of everything, but just a little bit. See, I barely got anything. I like to come over to my shadow side here, and we're just going to drizzle. You got to be quick. Just a few. Yep, just a little spot or two of that white that maybe is sticking over a little bit. Oops, a little hard. Couple peaks sticking up, and if anything, if you feel okay, maybe it's too bright, just come back here a little dark, and you can add a little shadow, take a little bit of that away. See that? good. Let's see here. Add a little more white. Maybe bring this lip over just a touch. Find that edge a little bit. Good. And I play back and forth, back and forth. I didn't like that. A little darker there, that's better. I like to kind of play back and forth with these colors. Let's see. Define that edge a little more. Okay, good. Excellent. Blue and some spots. Good. All right, now let's come back and we're going to take a clean. Actually, this brush has a little bit of that color on it, and that's okay. So we're going to come back here and we're just going to tap. You want to tap with the angle of your mountain. Okay? So just bring that down. See that? Bring that. So our angles are going this way. Tap that out. I might add a little white to my brush. We'll see. Same thing this side. Going this way. Just diffusing the base a little bit. Don't want to go too much. Just breaking that, diffusing the base just a wee bit. Okay, and then we'll come up gently the same way that you patted downwards. Got same thing on this side. Wipe your brush. Wipe some of that off of there. Don't need all that. Good. And I left off a shadow, as I'm just noticing. So we're going to come get a little bit of our shadow. I'm going to take care of this guy. Not too much, just a little bit. Now he exists. All right, so I just added a little bit of white, a little green on my brush. Just putting a little bit of a misty bottom here. It's going to be covered up. A couple hairs. But I just wanted to have something that our trees will stand out against. We're just blending in, like I said, just some white. So we get a nice snowy base. White, you can put a little, like I said, I think I put a little phthalo green, a little white. Get those hairs off. A little brand blender works fantastic. All right, so we're just going to blend that out a little bit. There we are. Just the mist creeping up there. Okay, so now I'm going to come back, I think, before I do anything else. I'm going to touch a couple spots up with a little more white and this green. A couple spots right in here. There we go. It's a little better. Bring that out just a touch. Here too. There. I like that. Bring that down. Okay, very good. It's a little bit better. Good. I like that better. Okay, very good. Now I think I'm going to come back with I'm going to use this fan brush, I think. We'll see. See how it goes. I'm going to get some of the white and some of that. Yeah, I think there's a little phthalo green in there too. I'm going to come here. I'm going to bring this. Kind of continue it almost. Like a hill coming down here a little bit. Like that. Just kind of continuing this down. Touch a little of that phthalo green. It's kind of smoothing it through. Nice soft appearance. Icy. Let's take a look. So let's keep going with that. Some more white. Get a little closer. Here. So we're going to cover all that up. Let's bring this down. Step back. me see here. Maybe, let's see here. So bring this down. I'm making this up as we go, so this will all be off in the distance a little bit. Kind of just make that like that. I'm going to come with my little blender brush. Get some more paint. Here, we'll come down like this. Fill this in. All right, so I decided to make a change, and I wiped away most of this and added the dark section because I want this to come down in front of this a little bit. So we're going to go back to our highlight color here, and then what we're going to do is continue this. And I just took some dark paint and smeared it in there. So we're going to continue this down just a wee bit. Just to bring this one in front of this one. That's going to go off to the side. A little better. Okay. step back. I think I want to still bring this down a little more. Good. And then we can just come up a little bit. Okay, and we're going to get some, I'm going to use my 1-inch, drag through some of this white, and then we'll come here. Oops. Need more white. Okay, this is a little dry here. Oops. Nice clean line. All right, let's get some white paint here. Bring this up just a little bit. And I'm just smoothing out the snow, giving it a nice soft look. And I will come back and add a little bit of color to it, just defining this edge. Then I'll drop in a little bit of probably some blue and some of the phthalo green as well to reflect a little bit of the northern lights. Blue. Blend it out. Work a little blue in here. Just smoothing it down. Cover that corner. Just want to clean off this edge a little bit. White paint got a little heavy. Just wipe it away with a shop towel. off. Here I'm just adding some, well, smoothing it out, and adding some phthalo green, a little blue here and there, and just blending it in real nice. All right, now we're going to plop some trees in. So I'm going to use my filbert brush and go ahead and load up with the mountain mix, or just a dark color. Any dark color works. Okay, and let me see. So we're going to kind of have these trees maybe cascading down over the side of the hill here, maybe in both directions. So maybe we'll start with our closest one here. Let's see here. Maybe right here. Make them bigger if we need to. Get some paint. And we're just tapping, starting in the center and working our way out. More paint. More paint. Loading up. He'll go right off the canvas. Make sure it's good and dark, especially at the base. Okay, and we'll start working our way down the hill here. So maybe we're going to have another one here. More paint. So we go over this mountain, might have trouble. So if you need to, add a little thinner to your paint, and it'll make that transition a little bit easier. I think I'm okay here. It's not a whole heck of a lot of paint quite yet. is right at the tip, ready to go over. And the next guy, I'll make him smaller. Maybe he's down here and disappears over the edge. Okay, very nice. Now I'm going to have to switch to a smaller filbert for some of these more distant ones. So let's grab one. It's a little bit smaller. What's that, buddy? And even a smaller filbert. Little ones get a little tricky. You take your time with these little guys, because make sure you got enough paint. There we go. And maybe it will come up on the other side. We'll clean up that edge. When we come back, we'll clean up that edge real good. All right, so now I'm going to the smaller one. See if this little one does a little bit better. Straighten these out. him a brother. Right there. Good. More paint. Just working our way back up the mountainside. This guy will be a little bigger. And you can fill in as many or as few trees as you'd like. Okay, keep moving. Right over the mountain. See if we might need a little thinner here. We'll see. See if it sticks for us. All right, now these next couple trees are going to be taller and more in the foreground. Oops. And this guy is going to be bigger here in the foreground. And you don't have to put these lines in. I just use it for a guide sometimes. So let's put our big trees in. I guess we'll do two over here. And again, starting at the top, working our way down, side to side. And as we get down here to the bottom, we're probably going to pick up some of this white paint. But that's okay, because we can put in the dark again. Got to readjust the camera. I'm going to wipe away the bottom of this tree, get the goopy paint off, get a little soupy, and then put my dark back in. Put the dark back in. There we go. That's much better. And working our way down this second tree. Closing this end. A little more paint. Good. Perfect. And I also want to put a tree on this side to close this side. Just so the end of the painting is framed in and there's not a big open space. Now I've taken some titanium white and some liquid white with a touch of phthalo green to do the highlights. Just requires a slight touch, and that highlight will come right off if you have it done properly. We're just going to work our way down. And now the second tree. Really just focusing on the right side of the tree. And darker at the base. As you work your way to the shadow side, just use the paint that's left on your brush, and it won't be as bright. Now I'm going to go back with some dark here and punch in some dark areas where I felt my highlights were too bright. I do this often, so don't worry if you over highlight. You can always go back and fix it and punch in some dark areas, and then even add highlights afterwards if necessary till you get what you're looking for. And now the third tree. Again, just touching, working downward. And punching a few dark areas in this one as well. to balance my highlights. And these guys down here don't really need too much, just a touch. And down here, really nothing at all. A tap or two. A couple on this guy. A few here. Just a little bit. Same thing here. And these closer trees. And again, take your time when you do these. Don't rush down your tree, especially if you're a beginner. Good painting takes some time. Don't rush. It'll look sloppy. And now our bigger foreground trees. Again, just tapping gently. If your paint is thinned correctly, it'll come right off the brush with a slight touch. Tap, tap, tap. Leave your dark. Your dark is your friend. And darker at the base. Good. Now I'm going to come back with my dark, plug in some darks, tone down some of these highlights. A couple of them got a little bright here and there. Good. And a few spots again on this side. A little dark here and there. And then a few highlights, a few fresh highlights. Just a couple spots at the top here. That's what's nice about oil painting. You can come back and fix anything you'd like. And let's highlight this last tree. Touch gently and work our way down. Good. Darker as we get to the base. And again, when the paint runs out, that's when you go more to the shadow. Good. Couple more spots. There we go. Now all I need is to pull out the bottom of the evergreens on the right for a little shade, shadow, and some stars in the sky. And of course I forgot to turn my camera on, but as you can see, I pulled the base of the two right evergreens, pulled that color out into the snow, added some stars into the sky, and cleaned up the hill a little bit. So we have a completed painting. I thank you so much for painting along with me, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. All right. I hope you had a great time with that. I know I had fun. Not too difficult to paint, and I hope you had some success with it. Please send me what you painted. I'd love to see it. Again, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and that way you can be notified whenever I put out one of these. And of course, like, comment, and share helps my channel to grow. So all the best to you all. Look forward to the next one, and happy painting.